Andre, for coming. You've been rocking with us for a long time. I know we're a smaller channel, and you've always worked with us. And congratulations on your success. You've gone viral. I see a lot of people sharing your stuff.
Yeah. So the next thing I want to play is Anton Daniels, and then I'll have Andre go first on this one. So Anton Daniels lives in Detroit. And Mia's been on his panels. We're friends with Kelly. We're friends with Mika. They work with him. So let me play this clip. This is the beginning of what he says.
Putting paws on you, putting paws on your face. Boy, you need to go ahead and retire at this point. I don't know him. I don't know him. I seen some of his stuff on the internet, and it just seemed like, all right, you trying a little bit too hard. You don't really, I'm not really sure if you believe this or not. It seemed like he just trying a little bit too hard, that he don't really believe it or nothing like that. And so, I was like, he not gonna make it. Cause listen, a lot of times people be like, oh, they from Detroit, you from No, bro, listen, let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all before we move over to the next part of the show. I'm gonna keep it so real. I'm gonna keep it so 100 with you. All right. A lot of times, y'all think that these people are from Detroit, and they might be from Metro Detroit. All right. I don't know his story. I can't speak his story. All I can say is what I seen. But a lot of these people are from Metro Detroit. They be from Melvindale, Taylor, South Lyon, Novi. They're from, they from Pontiac. They feel like they from the top. He can't, clearly he ain't from Pontiac. They say that they don't be from here, bro. Farmington Hills, Molly. Facts. They don't be from the city. They don't be from the city, bro. They just don't. And so a lot of people will say it, or what they'll do is they'll live outside of the city, and then they'll come into the city, and then they'll be saying stuff like they be in the city, but they come in to record content and they go home. You know what I'm saying? They come in, record content, and go home. A lot of them don't be born and raised here. And again, I can't speak from him, and I can't say what he is and where he ain't from, but all I can say is, because you should have known better than that. You should have known that a dude with Ugg boots was going to put paws on you. No, he's not from Southfield either. I ain't even going to say Southfield. I don't think you're from Southfield. No way.
Andre, why does that matter? Why is he talking about you're from Metro Detroit? I don't get it.
If I'm not mistaken, because niggas from Detroit, they like to rep this bullshit, but it ain't all that. Nigga, if anything, you're gonna say I'm from Highland Park. All right, that's as Detroit as we get. That's as ghetto and fucking dirty as we get. Go look at what Highland Park looks like. All right, born and raised, and in the house that my grandfather had purchased in 1972, living right next door to my mother, taking care of my family. We own property. All three properties we own here. We've been here for a very long time. So I don't know what this fool is talking about. Nobody in Ugg boots did anything. Like I said, you're getting pushed down by 4 people and you're armed, and you're around thousands of people who are going to sit back and, as they were doing, trying to lie and say I was assaulting them as they did in the comments. Why am I going to sit here and get violent with these people when I know how these protests? I've done this multiple times. So people like Anton Daniels that sit on the screen and talk the shit, but won't go out there on the street and talk the shit like I've done multiple times for the past year. Don't sit here and try to talk to me about a damn thing. Now, the only thing I respect of Anton, he's been a very successful platform as a businessman. I remember watching him when Kevin Samuels was alive. I loved his content, his interactions with him. But Anton, don't sit here and try to step to my level talking about what goes on the ground. When you start doing straight debates or you start getting on the ground talking to people like I've done it, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. So I don't really have anything. And, let me go back to the story, because he always does. He did this shit to me before, and this was in 2023. And I got a friend that can verify this interaction. When he was doing the Fight Club stuff, I went on his show and I interacted with Anton. And he didn't like the way I spoke. He said, yo, you're not from Detroit speaking like that. Ain't nobody from Detroit talk like that, the way you talk. I said, well, born and raised in Detroit. I told him where I went to school. Went to Jesu Catholic Elementary. That's on 6 Mile McNichols and Livernois, next to UD Jesuit. Went to Legacy Charter Academy. That's right down the street from Persian High School. If you know where that is, they're rebuilding that right now on 7 Mile. Um, the only place I went to outside of Detroit was Madison Heights High School. And guess what? A lot of people from Pontiac, when they closed the school, went there. Went to Aisha Shule. That was closed down in 2013. I went to school with, what's his name? The Massey, the painter. Can't think of his first name. Very famous painter, a well-known painter here in Detroit. Went to school with his daughter, Leah Massey. So, Anton, you're going to sit here and say I'm not from Detroit. Born and raised, dude. Your high school don't matter where somebody said, Andre, what high school you graduate from. That shit don't matter either. Every day when I left the Army, I came back home to take care of my family and to make sure they were all right after being gone for 4 years. And I sat back and I make the content that I do in my neighborhood. And people know me and they know my content. And you know where I go after that? Go with my wife. We sit here and we enjoy ourselves in our house and I continue to do what I do. But to sit here and say, I'm not from Detroit, he ain't from Detroit because you sat back and you didn't fight back. Why am I going to fight back when I'm outnumbered with a bunch of people? And they saw these people have never been any kind of counter protesting because they don't know how to do it. They'll sit back and champion black people in the 1960s when they didn't fight back, when they were doing peaceful sit-ins. They'll sit back and champion black people all throughout the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and 80s when they did peaceful marches and peaceful protests and they were attacked. You'll champion them. I'm trying to do the same thing against people who are anti-American, who are for mass migration, which is lowering wages and destroying our country, who these big multinational corporations want to use these people as modern day slavery. It's cheap labor to replace working class people. And also people who are going to school, who are, instead of hiring Americans that put thousands and if not hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt and trying to get these degrees, they want to hire someone from India, someone from China, when they should be hiring someone, a black or white kid that's been going to school first and foremost. These people want to sit back and criticize me, but a lot of these motherfuckers will never get on the ground and do anything I do. Come to a protest with me, or come do a street debate with me. Come and sit down and do things that I've done with other people who can sit back and attest to my leadership and what I've done on the ground and how I've taught them. I've got tons of people who work with me on that. So this shit's goofy. Anton, like I said, respect to his business. He's a fantastic businessman. A fantastic, no disrespect on that point, but his perspective on shit. Simmer the fuck down.
Andre, do you think what you did is comparable to sit-ins?
I would say when you're going out there and you're protesting and you're standing up for what you believe in, hell yes. If you're going out there and you're facing people who hate your way of life, who don't like you, like I said, if you've been in this kind of stuff, you've actually faced this stuff. It's Chicago. The inauguration, did 4 days of that, both for Chicago and the inauguration. The RNC, all right, the DNC. These people, if you think the right is violent, which I do agree, we have a tendency to be violent. The left is just as violent. When you're out there on the ground and people's opinions and voices are being heard and being shouted, people say all types of shit and they can get all types of dirty. It's not nice on either side. So, and we've seen that all throughout history. It's
okay,
not
so
nice on either side.
So if the worst outcome would have happened, do you think you would be a martyr?
If the worst outcome were to happen, it is what it is. That's the whole. Here's what I tell people when they come with me. And this is why I like to do it. I do my own thing because I don't have to worry about being responsible and having someone's mother say like, oh, you took my son or you took my husband. I don't have to deal with that. I'd rather take the lead and move forward because if something happens to me, I don't really care. I'm going to be proven right in the end on what I believe in. I'm going to have my voice and what I've been saying be proven right. And if my voice carries for a day or carries for a week or carries for years, that's up to y'all after I'm gone. I can care less. What I do now and what I've accomplished in my life, I'll stand for. And we'll see even after of those who will carry it forward. But if I'm out there telling people, hey, I don't want mass migration. And mind you, most of these people who are out there protesting, they're not from Detroit. And if anything, they're from the gentrified areas of Detroit or they're sitting there as college kids. Most of the people, those white kids out there and even some of the blacks, they're not from Detroit. They're from the suburbs. And I challenged them on that. And they looked goofy when I did it on the ground. So it's ridiculous at the end of the day what these people are saying. Yeah, somebody said my goal is to get attention. That's the whole point of going to a protest and doing a protest, to get attention, dumbass. That's the whole point. Like, oh, you're trying to get attention. Like, yeah, that's the whole point. Actually, like to get media attention.
Protested. If we look at,
I want to add on to this too.
People had a goal.
Yeah, I want Enzo to get in here after.
As to why they were protesting.
They to get attention, to bring attention to something. Yeah, to bring attention to an issue, awareness.
Civil rights, and therefore
yes, that you have to do what? You protest to get attention,
right? You're
the
first person that I've ever said, "Oh, I want to go out here to get attention." I guess.
Yeah, that's what you do when you protest.
And you got the attention.
Yeah. So hold on. Let me go down to this. I should be attacked and be falsely arrested for practicing my constitutional rights. Me as someone who serves, someone who is a law-abiding citizen, I should be attacked when I go out there and do the same thing these people were doing. That's justifiable. See, these fucking people are so weak.
See,
These
this
people are
is
so
what
fucking
this is
disgusting
what
and
this
so
is
double-minded.
what
And this is why
very
you can't have a
low
conversation.
Okay, all right,
IQ
let's
This is what
pause,
low
intellectuals
IQ
guys.
do.
people bring up,
This
bro.
is what
This is
low
low
IQ
IQ people
intellectual
bring.
people do.
Okay,
No,
all
this
right,
is what low
Because
IQ white women
you
bring
just
up. This is
all
why
right.
we can't have you talking. This is why we
Mike,
should take the
guys.
right away from you.
Hold on. I'm muting mics. Hold on. Enzo, go ahead.
So I want to add on to what Andre was saying because I did go to another No Kings protest in pretty sure that was July, the one in New York, and almost it could have been a similar situation to yours. But here's the thing, right? I'm not even 10 feet out of my car, right? And I have a group of people come up to me just because I'm wearing this hat and say, "What the fuck are you doing here? Get the fuck out of here! I'm gonna fucking stab the shit out of you and leave you in the street just for being there." And I think this is absolutely ridiculous that this happened to you. And good for you for standing up for yourself. You're a better man than me because I had my piece on me. If I wasn't by myself, trust me, somebody else would have been laid out on the floor, and it wouldn't be me because it's my life versus yours, and I'm going to take yours all day long to protect myself. And I'll sit in a jail cell all day long, and I will say that these protests are absolutely ridiculous. Looney Tune bullshit that the left is doing. I'm gonna keep calling it out every single time you guys do it. You're protesting no kings at the end of the day. Donald Trump's not a king. Donald Trump doesn't act like a king. He's not a dictator. He's not a fascist, even though half of you can't even define what fascist is. So I would just cut the bullshit. The Democrats have lost. You guys really have no path forward at all. So again, I'm just going to keep saying it. You guys are ridiculous at this point, doing what you're doing. And then you want to call out the right for being violent when this is what you guys are doing.
So
It's
my
damned if
question,
you do and damned if you don't. What?
I don't think Mia went yet. I don't
okay,
think
wait, okay. I have
Mia.
Yeah, what's up? Oh, hold on, what?
You have a question for Andre?
Honestly, not really. Honestly, I'm just sitting back and just watching the show at this point in time. I think everybody has pretty much answered everything we need to know. We saw quite a few clips. Andre, I will say, I definitely did defend you. Everybody as my witness. I said that was not right to get beat up or assaulted for
Yes, you
using
did.
your First Amendment. So I was right there with you, buddy. So not everybody was against you. I absolutely said nobody should be hurt, threatened, assaulted, or anything for exercising the First Amendment right, especially in a permitted public space. So, I mean, if that counts for something, not every person was against you.
I think my question would just be like to piggyback off what Enzo was saying. If this is like Looney Tunes and this is like irrational people, what's the win? Right? Okay, attention, right? What's the win? Because it's not about to be any engaging conversation. It's not about to be any discourse about different political ideologies, what works and what doesn't. If that is the outcome, right? For example, I'm not gonna go and just put myself in the middle of a KKK rally. What's the We're not about to walk out holding hands. What's the win? I don't get what the win is. So if the worst thing would have happened to you in that situation, bro, to me, it's in vain because what is the philosophy that you're coming there with? Like what is the win? You know what I'm saying? Like the next
what the win is.
the next day people would have forgot about you and
it's
your
not
name
about
was
that.
out of the news cycle. Like what's the win?
Who gives a fuck? See, this is the problem with a lot of people in the West. They put too much importance on their life only. And we compare this to the East. Now we, examine other people and they do movements. They care more about the grand collective or the message. That's what it is. So when you go out and you're doing these protests, which the political right hasn't really done anything in terms of a organized protest that's legitimate since Unite the Right, since 2017, since Charlottesville, which was a fucking disaster because a lot of people were incompetent at running that. Richard Spencer and the many. Cantwell, which I call him. He does shitty streams now because he was embarrassed at that protest. Did terrible. And we really haven't seen anything beyond that. Honestly, we really just haven't seen anything that's been successful. You've got groups like Patriot Front and some of the Will to Rise movements that do kind of protest, but they do it with no permit, which is, it's not, there's so much shit that can happen. So the motivation is to get people who are so pro-American online. And so I'm for America first. I'm for this. I can't stand liberals. I can't stand the left. And they talk on Twitter and they talk on YouTube. But it's like, hey, why don't you go out here and challenge these people directly? Why don't you go out here and get on the ground and do it? The left is willing to. That's the one thing I respect about the left. They're willing to get out and organize. They can get something together. The right, for all the talk that they do, for all the talk that we do as a collective, we can't go out and do it. We can get online and make a group chat. We can get online and get a live stream going. We can sit back and flood a comment section and ratio someone. But when it comes down to get out here and to stand firm on what you believe in, they won't do it. And I'm tired of seeing it. I've been seeing it for the last 10 years with a lot of people. I've been seeing it over and over again. But of course, what the response a lot of people would say is, well, when we look at the history of how everything has been going in this country, the right is charged a lot more. You have a lot more feds and right-wing groups and right-wing circles that will try to break up these organizations or break up. That's a lot of truth on that. The right is police a lot more in this country than the left is, especially at this current time. So we're looking at a time where I don't believe in this. My side is always going to win. I believe my side is going to win just because it's right. My side is going to win either because it has the biggest gun, it has the biggest tongue, it has the biggest podium, and it has the most people. Might makes right at the end of the day. That's what it is. If the left has more people and a stronger voice, and more people who are willing to die for what they believe in, then they're going to win. That's how every movement throughout history has won, be it in China, be it in Russia, be it in Germany, be it in France, be it in this country. That's how it's always going to be. So in order for any kind of political victory or any kind of change in the cultural zeitgeist, you got to have people who are willing to get out there and get their hands dirty. And sometimes you're going to have people who get killed early on. And it is what it is. Every revolution or every political movement or any kind of change, and having someone, okay, CIA, which is fucking disgusting for you to call me CIA when you know I'm not fucking CIA. And that's not CIA.
Yeah, Andre, what's up with that? A lot of people are saying you're a Fed. Like,
yeah, which is fucking disgusting because you know why they say I'm a Fed? Because they're weak and they sit online all day. And going outside and touching grass is like only things that federal agents do. No. I've been around people know me. I got people who can verify me. I'm not a fucking Fed. They always do this. I'll say this, right? They did the same thing to Nick. We've seen the video. They'll call people who are genuine and authentic Feds because we have a lot of fake people in this world. We have a lot of fake people today. We have a lot of people who will sit on their ass and do nothing and complain about everything. But when you actually get out there and want something, you say you believe in all these things. She said, oh, you are. Nah, I'm HR for the military, dumbass. Fuck off, Heaven. Go take care of your how many bastard children you have, Heaven? Okay. Are those eggs nice and cold? No, they're not. They're dry. Okay, anyway. Tell me your birthday, December 18th, 2000. I'm a Fed, right? Oh, did I go to oh shit, I'm a Fed. That's pretty young for a Fed. I don't know. Those eggs aren't young anymore. We'll say
that's
that.
The other thing, Andre. People said you're not that young. That's the other thing they've been dragging online. They're like, he ain't really 24.
Well, why would any guy want to look younger than what he is? If for women, they want to look younger, right? They want to look younger. You don't ever want to tell a woman you look older than what you are. For a guy, no one wants to hear like I look younger for what I am. We treat like a fucking kid. So I really don't take any offense to that shit. I mean, yeah, who cares about the age shit?
So for the record, you're not a Fed, correct? We're gonna squash this here and now.
Yeah, I don't have a line to
all the rumors.
Yeah, there's no line to Langley over here. Yeah.
Okay.
Andre, one last clip about you, and then we're gonna move to the next topic. This is the last thing that I got Anton say. He pulled your card, man. Here we go.
Go ahead.
Why isn't it playing? Hold on. Oh, it's like it doesn't. Hold on. Guys, if you're watching on either...
Look at what's happening from there. White liberals put the pause on him. It wasn't even black people. Black people have nothing to do with it. If you go to these No King protests, I seen them that was out in the streets. It was during the time that they was also doing the marathon run. Black people wasn't even out here like that. Them is white lip. He got paws on him from a snow hare. I would have even been able to. Okay, you know what? Because everybody, you can't win them all. You're going to take a L. You're going to give some. You got to at least put up a good fight, though. You got to put up your dukes. You can't be. If a nigga pull your jacket over your head, let me see what's going on. No, that's unacceptable. That's just unacceptable. Never let anybody pull your jacket over your head, bro. Don't ever
even
feel
know
like
what
you
he's
need
talking
to stare
about.
at somebody's cock.
Nobody
Now, if
pulled
they
their
put a
jacket
jacket
over my head
your
at all.
you just honestly,
Is it because when you rolled?
on the internet giving an explanation.
Yeah, nobody pulled my jacket over my head, and heaven somebody dropped my weapon. Nobody dropped their weapon at all. I had a weapon on me. If I were to fight back, how is it look in front of a court?
Oh god.
It's two times that you go to sleep, like you just take a really good nap. Either you lost a lot of money at the casino, you get real sleepy. You
Like I said, this is
Yo,
all
he
from,
had like that smoke for you.
yeah, this is all from people. Like I said, will never go out and say anything that he says on his show or with the people he's ever been with on the ground. So, like I said, Anton, sit in your chair. And the one thing I wasn't gonna let when these guys are sitting here pushing me repeatedly. One thing I'm not going to sit back and is fall down. So I decided I'm going to get back up. I'm not going to sit there on the ground and just like, oh, no, that's weak. Get the fuck back up and stand up. Nobody grabbed my weapon. Made sure of that. The reason why I took a weapon is, because people like to get followed from these events. I've been to events where we had guys who got followed back by people and attacked. I've seen that over the years. So I'm going to carry, and I'm in Detroit, so I know where I'm living at. I know exactly how my area is. And there were black people there. And the people who pushed me down were the organizers of the event. So that's something that I'll talk about at a later time when I weigh all my options. But that's the problem. I'm there to practice my constitutional rights. I'm there to speak my piece and counter protest, which is my right. And then not am I attacked by the people who were there. I'm attacked by the organizers of the event because they don't like what I'm saying. And they're allowing people, and there were Antifa members there in the crowd, which they continuously deny, that were threatening towards me. And I'm shouting my shit back. I'm not going to sit back and act like I wasn't, it was all, guns and I was the little lamb there. And no, shouting shit back. And you got and heaven, like I said, it's people like this that never go to these things, weren't there, but they want to sit from their cheers and talk shit. Like I said, come to these rallies or go to these events and you'll see how it is. Look at the guys who went to the HBCU and got attacked by these animals. Look, shit, when I was doing the shit with earlier, when it came to the Black Hebrew Israelites a few hours earlier, they were violent and they were rowdy, and they had people on the street talking shit. So, I mean, I've done this multiple times. Shit happens at the end of the day. You just get back up and you keep going. And these people, I don't know why people keep acting like this is going to stop me from what I'm doing or it's hurt me. It hasn't.
Heaven says she's been going for 2 years. Heaven does go to protests.
You go to protests? What protests have you been to? Now, have you actually been? I'm talking about going to counter protests, not sit there and you're with the boys and girls. And I got some cut water. Let me wave a flag. I'm talking about you're there. You're challenging people directly, not some old boomer that's like, I voted for Trump, Sally Sue. No, you were people there who are your equals and you can challenge them. That's something you should.
I feel like my ADHD is kicking up because the only thing I heard from that entire spiel was cut water, and my first thought is, ew, who drinks cut water? Man, we drink twisted teas when we're out doing up to no good because they're road sodas. That was like my first thought. Don't listen to me, kids. Don't listen to me. Road sodas don't exist. You should never open a road soda. Just throw that out there.
Mia, we have no idea what you're talking about.
No,
I know. But back on the Anton, man, like, Anton, I'm open for a debate. I'm open for a discussion. I think you're a joke, honestly. Respect your business, 100%. I always respect it, but I think when it comes to politically, you're no different than like a black Sean Hannity, honestly, in my opinion. But get those checks, my boy. Get those checks.
It's giving a lot of credit, Black Sean Hannity. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, that's lame now. That's very lame. But Sean Hannity? Who the fuck watches that? Like grandma at 8? Like, I don't watch that shit. Everybody's watching Candace or Tucker or Nick. They're not watching it, Sean.
Yeah. That makes sense. Anything else anyone wants to ask before we move on?
No.
All right. Wow.
Andre,
Are you gonna stay
now.
for the whole show, Andre?
I do have an emergency. I'll stay for a few more minutes. I'm having an emergency call.
I say is keep up the good work, bro.